So hello, it's been a minute. Thank you if you are watching this, I appreciate it. I am gonna do an updated plant tour today because there's been obviously a lot of changes since I did my last plant tour video. Things have grown and died as usual, but I have had a couple of people asking for some updates, so I wanted to do that for you guys. But I also wanted to talk about a couple other things that are semi-important, and I know that annoys some people when I ramble on and on before I get to the point of the video. So I'm gonna put everything that I want to talk about at the end of this video, so if you care, you can just keep watching, and if you just want to see the plants, you are free to continue on with your day. Just so you are aware, the things that I want to talk about are kind of where I have been, why I have been gone, and then just some, I don't know what I would like to call that, important topics that I would like to discuss and or get feedback on. So anyway, I'm going to, I think the easiest way for me to do this without like breaking half of my plants is just for me to walk around my house and show you things where they are. So I will just get right into the plants now. I do really appreciate your comments and questions, so feel free to leave me any of those if you want to talk about anything. Okay, we are in my bedroom. So this is this. This is this prayer plant. I really don't need to put myself in the frame of this, so I'm probably not gonna film myself in here. But it's starting to, I've been kind of bad with watering the past few months, not gonna lie. Been busy, but it's doing okay. It's like starting to fill out really nicely. My pilea, I don't need to be in this, this is stupid. My pilea, which is kind of pretty much looks like it did last time. My neon pothos is doing great. Got a bunch of new leaves on it. My iron cross OXALIS, which I keep forgetting to water, looks great. She'll come back. I think it's actually probably going dormant anyway, so whatever. Then this thing, which I can't remember if I even ever found the name of that, but it's still doing okay. And then my Hoya. You see that? Kind of. Yes, so it looks pretty. And then you can see my window and the light. I don't think I showed this one before. This is my broccoli, because I can't remember the name of it. Some kind of a cactus. It looks a little rotted, so I'm not sure what's going on with the discoloration. My little thing. And my orchid rebloomed. So this side was starting to bloom. I think I missed a little bit of watering, to be honest. And then this side started blooming, so I've been better with the watering. And it's blooming and alive and doing okay. But now this side has completely died off. And I don't know if the plant just like needed to put all of its energy into only one side at a time, and that's normal. Or I don't know if I just like didn't water it. So either way, I have flowers on it now, so who cares? My other philodendron, which has spurts of growing fast and then it starts growing really slow. So I don't know, a lot of these bigger leaves, oh see, here we go. A lot of these bigger leaves have fallen off, and I don't know if that's because I have it, oh see, have not been good with my watering. So I think it might be too far away from the window. I'll see if I can find another spot to put it. Then on this side is this thing, variegated POTHOS is, I think, I don't remember. But it's weird because it's like variegated on this side, but plain on this side. So I don't know if that's actually like two different plants or if it's just growing that way because of the sunlight for some reason. Then I have this that I forget the name. What is this? My regular spider plant, which is finally kind of growing. Again, I don't think it's close enough to a window, so like everything else, it just has to make do. My little rubber tree, which all of the people who recommended repotting that into a smaller pot, that really helped. So that is the pot that it's in right now. And it's growing way better, and it seems a lot healthier. Being a little bit more confined. It's not growing super fast, but just like everything else, it doesn't have a window. Here's my not watermelon peperomia. Like an idiot, I thought that was a watermelon peperomia when I first bought it. Didn't really care for it very much, but I like it a lot now. I don't know, it just is nice and kind of full and pretty and interesting. I think this is a curly spider plant, but I've been trying to regrow this thing for, I don't know, 2 years. I don't even remember at this point. It's still alive. And then I have my like big weird succulent back there, and I don't have it supported or staked, and it still seems to be doing okay. It kind of has grown enough to where it's like resting almost on here. I think I might take some of the leaves off and replant it in soil up to like here to give it some more support, but I'm not gonna do that today. This I think is the Marble Queen, but that's just kind of hanging out. Hasn't really grown a whole lot since I got it. But I really like these. I like Pothos and Philodendron just because they're so full and easy to grow, and they come in so many different colors. Well, I guess they really only come in colors of green, but they just come in different varieties, and so that's nice. This is my polka dot plant that doesn't have a whole lot of polka dots because guess why? Yeah, not close enough to a window, I'm pretty sure, so it doesn't have a whole lot of white. When I had this much closer to my window, the leaves were really, really white before, which I do prefer, but for some reason they're growing so much better over here, which is really confusing. So it likes the light over here, I guess, as far as the growth and health of the plant, but as far as color and making it look cool, it prefers another spot. It doesn't grow as well, so I don't know what to do. This is my little string of turtles cutting that I planted when it was I only had like these 4 leaves on it, and all this is new growth. So with a lot of times with viney things like this, I'm not going to say for everything, but a lot of times little viney plants like this, you can just take a cutting and then pop off a lot of these older leaves, and then when you plant it, it will grow roots. And I've got another little baby coming out now. So that's like a cool thing about this I killed. But that's something cool about a lot of these trailing plants. So here's some of my baby prayer plant cuttings. Chelsea, if you're watching this, that one's yours. I still have it from last winter when I didn't give it to you, but I still got it. Got some cuttings from my, what's it called? I have some cuttings from my begonia that I'm rooting back here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those. All right, Big Daddy, who has had better days. I repotted this thing into like this giant pot, and then just because of life things, I've slacked a little bit on the food and watering. But just doing okay. Still nice and full and pretty, and maybe not thriving, but living. All right, my, what's it called? Satin Pothos, or whichever one this is. This was a cutting that didn't grow for forever with my little, but now it's finally starting to grow. So, and this is actually kind of starting to grow decently fast. My, what is this? Ah, it fell over. My velvet philodendron, which is in and out of doing good, partially my fault. My fern behind it, also partially my fault. These ones are a little more finicky with humidity and light and stuff like that. So my other monstera, this is a Monstera adenensis or whatever, that likes the spot, I think. But every time I water this plant, it doesn't matter how dry it is, every single time I water it, some leaves die, like they yellow and die. So not sure if that's like nutrients in the water or something. This is my Monstera, and you can see that every new freaking leaf that has come out is solid, like a big old jerk. I have one cool leaf, one, stupid. So I'm hoping at some point this plant will start looking cool. Oh, here's my weird thing that I made out of yarn and a stick. My jungle velvet calathea, which is forever in a rhythm of growing and dying and regrowing. So this is what it looks like at this point. I had a bunch of big leaves on here that were perfect, and then they died and fell off, and so now we're growing again. but these are dying again. I think that just I'm not keeping up with the humidity for this plant. My Wandering Jew, which I kind of missed watering a little bit, but I think we're still holding on here. This one's really pretty. I like this. It's like purple. There is my angel wing begonia. I don't think this thing is super happy in this spot. I think it likes being a little bit closer to the window, and I need to support it a little bit more, but I don't really have another spot for it right now. This is my bird's nest fern, which is the only fern that I've managed to keep alive for any length of time. Just a little note there for people who like ferns but kill them. So there is that, and I'm going to back away and swing around my cool snowshoes. Look at those. I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna say the name of everything wrong. My, what is it, Brazil philodendron. I've got like a couple leaves that are looking a little different. And then here's my window, so you can see where the plants are in my window. My curly spider plant, just putting more effort into growing babies for the past long time than it has been into growing itself, but whatever, it looks really cool. Lipstick plant. My plant that I got for 15 bucks and it only had like 2 branches on it when I got it. Down here, my, what is this, African mask finally grew another leaf, and then the other ones died and fell off. So this plant is just nothing but a constant struggle, but I've got a leaf, so we're gonna keep it. Prince of Orange, I believe. My, I always forget the name of this one. It's like a African something, tree something, I can't remember. Bird of Paradise, which is loving the spot. My cactus. Here is my my fiddle leaf fig, which I don't know if this like wants some water. The leaves are a little dusty. You can see it's pretty good size. And then my other, this cactus is actually growing kind of okay now. And then my watermelon peperomia, which I managed to keep alive, and it is a watermelon peperomia. And if you watch my other videos, you know that's 2 successes. I think this is my silver pothos, but this one's finally starting to grow kind of fast. And then I have a little jade with my super impressive string of pearls. I have a curly orchid cactus. That is, it's still not huge, but it was not in the best shape when I bought it, so it looks a lot better. I have another, I think this is another orchid cactus. That is, I love this one. I think it's so cool. So this is interesting. My, what is this? It's not really getting a lot of the purple backs. If you remember when I first got this thing, my other plant tours, it was all purple behind. Only some of them are purple in back. This is not a good angle, but all right, I forgot the name of this, like everything else, but it's doing okay. My little air plant. And then I have this thing. It's really sparse, and I think that's just because I have it so far away from the window, but I don't have anywhere near a window to put it right now, so. And then this ivy that I don't know the name of. I forget to water this thing a lot, so it's not the most impressive. This is my Charita plant, and clearly I have some sort of a little pest on here that I need to find and remove. This plant is really weird. It like is very picky about the light that it gets, but I do really like this plant. It's similar to like an orchid in the way that it grows and likes light and water, so it does like some good kind of all day brightish light and, you know, humidity like an orchid does. My little cactus. This is my snake plant, which someone actually asked me if this was a whale tail or whale tail plant, I don't know, and a snake plant in the same pot, which I'm not entirely sure. I think these are all the same plant. It does grow really weird, but that's also kind of my fault. Didn't have good light and water for like the first 2 years that I had this plant, so, and my cat ate a lot of it. But it's like the first plant that I got, so I'm not gonna get rid of it. So I hope you enjoyed that updated plant tour, and like I said before, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave that below. Before I get into the other things that I want to talk about, just if you want to follow me on Instagram, even though Instagram never shows my posts to people, you can find me at SimpleCareSteph on there, and or visit SimpleCareProducts.com. That is where my plant-based skincare products can be found if you would like to check those out. So I guess we can kind of use that to segue into the things that I wanted to talk about, and they're, gosh, I don't know, they're kind of not related, but they're sort of all related. So where have I been and why? Where have I been? I have been living a normal human life of someone who does not have a profile on social media. I don't know if you know this or not, but with 11,000 subscribers, YouTube is not my full-time job. So me doing this is time that has to be taken from other things like work and activities and sleep and stuff like that. So after doing YouTube and Instagram and a blog and Pinterest and all of these things for, geez, I don't know, I started in 2013, so do that math. I just kind of didn't want to keep doing it anymore, which, to be fair, I don't think is that absurd, because it's not super common that people keep doing the exact same thing at the exact same job for years and years and years without getting tired of it or bored. Not to say that I'm tired of it or bored, but things have changed so much in the landscape of social media since 2012, 2013 when I started, that it's kind of become more work than it's worth. For example, I have over 15,000 followers on Instagram, and my last post as of, what are we at, like 32 hours since my last post, I think it was at 700 views. So I've sort of lost interest in Instagram because it's very hard to communicate with people or share with people or get feedback from people if there are no people. And for some reason, Instagram wants me to have no people, which brings me to my next point. I started thinking about, why am I doing all of this to begin with? What is the point? I know a lot of people have aspirations of being an influencer. I would rather punch myself in the face 12 times before calling myself that, because that kind of makes me want to vomit. When I originally started making videos, if you go back to the beginning of my YouTube channel, it was a lot of educational videos. And even when I started my business, it was my skincare business, a lot of it was based on wanting to educate people, which is why I started this channel. Education was really the motivation behind all of that. I wanted to teach people how to do things themselves. I wanted to teach people the importance of looking at ingredients, what was bad, what was okay, what marketing you shouldn't pay attention to. At this point, in 2019, almost 2020, you can't go a day without someone preaching some sort of information to you, whether it has to do with how you should work out, what you should wear, what you should put on your skin, what you should eat, how you should live, all of this stuff. Everyone, all of these influencers are trying to be experts on everything. And I started feeling like I was falling into the category of a wannabe expert on things that I am not an expert about. Now, I make skincare products. I have a skincare business. I care very much about ingredients, not only because they affect us, but because they infect well, they do, because they affect our environment, they affect animals, they affect our future, water, food, all of that stuff. So I do care very much about that. Do I care about trying every new thing out there and having a cupboard full of makeup and beauty products? No. And I did not want to fall into the category of coming across as a guru. In the years that I've been doing this, I've seen so many wellness and food influencers tell people how they should eat only to later come out about having an eating disorder. All of these people who try to be so motivational and uplifting and live these perfect lives only to come out later and say that they've secretly been battling depression. Why is everyone being so fake? I want no part of that. I just wanted to educate people and have fun, and so that's kind of why my channel has strayed away from the teaching and educational things, because there's just so much of that information out there already, and I'm tired of being a teacher about things that I shouldn't be teaching about. I'm a chef. I care about ingredients because as a chef, ingredients are everything, but I'm a chef. That's what I do. I work with food, and so if I'm going to be teaching about anything, it should really be that. So that's kind of why I have stopped. I do love my plants, so I'm more than happy to continue this channel talking about plants, but I'm not trying to be an expert about plants either. There's so much... If you guys really ever looked into the dirty world of being an influencer, you would just... so many people will tell you to be an expert or to be an influencer, you only have to know a little bit more than the people you're teaching. Really? Is that really how you want to teach people? Is that really who you want to learn from? Someone who just learned a little bit more than you so that they can teach you? I don't think so. And everything that you have to do nowadays to try to stay on top or relevant in social media is exhausting. Also, on the topic of things that I am an expert in, my insomnia has been acting up for the past few months quite crappily. I would say over the past few years, I have gotten a lot more questions and genuine interest from people and or products having to do with insomnia and sleep than anything else. And at this point, I don't feel like I really have a whole lot of skincare information to share with people that's gonna be like mind-blowingly amazing and shock you off your feet. But one thing I can talk about from experience is not sleeping. And the entire reason that I haven't talked about this much for years is because, truthfully, living with severe insomnia, I'm gonna get like surprises emotional. Living with wow. I'm also sleep deprived, so I'm gonna start crying because I'm sleep deprived and this is an emotional topic. Living with a severe sleeping disorder is very difficult. I think that anyone that lives with an invisible illness, I guess if you can call it that, can relate, because to everyone you look fine and you're not in the hospital, you're not limping around, you're not bandaged, you look like everyone else, you look normal, but you don't feel normal, you don't feel like yourself. It affects everything you do in your life. It changes everything about your life. It just affects everything. It affects the way you feel. It affects your motivation. It affects your mood. It affects how you interact with other people. It affects what you do. It affects what you can do. I tried to go to the gym yesterday and I've been sleeping like less than 1 to 3 hours for the past like 3 weeks. And I just felt so crappy and like my chest was not feeling great and like I didn't feel safe working out at 36 years old. I should be able to go to the gym and work out like a healthy person, but I can't. It's very lonely and difficult to be awake at night and not get rest and to just be in the dark and quiet while everyone else is asleep and you're just there alone, and it's so long until the day comes, and then the day is just not gonna be that great because you're gonna be tired all day. So I guess what I'm getting at is I don't have all the answers at this point. but I am here and I am going through it. So other people who are going through the same things, maybe this can make you feel less alone. I do have some things that I have found that have helped me kind of cope or get better, and with me it always fluctuates. So sometimes, you know, I have months where I sleep okay and I can go back to sleep, and then I have stretches like right now where 4 hours is a victory. If there's a way that I can be helpful to people and be truly educational on a topic in which I feel entitled to be educational about, then that's, I think, what I'd like to kind of focus on. This is like a 45-minute video at this point probably, so I'm just gonna stop there, and would love to hear y'all's feedback and whatever you want to talk about below. I'll keep doing plant videos, but if you want to see more about my sleeping disorder and I mean, if you want to really see like the really ugly realities of it, just don't know if that's anything that anybody cares to watch. I guess that is pretty much all I have to talk about for today. Another weird video to add to the list. If you guys, for some reason, like this video, please give it a like, and remember to subscribe if you want to hang around for this. I will see you guys in the next video, I guess. I've said everything I can say. So I will see you guys next time, and again, like, feel free to come talk to me on Instagram. Like, literally nobody sees my Instagram anymore, so like I'll definitely see your comment. You guys have a great rest of your day. If you are struggling with insomnia, I'm very sorry, and just keep pushing through because we have no other choice. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.